The Chalukayas of Badami. The role of the Chalukyas of Badami constitutes a brilliant epoch in the history of Karnataka in particular and Indian history in general. It was the first Karnataka dynasty to establish its name and fame throughout India. If the identification of the painting in the cave at Ajanta is correct, their fame had spread as far as Persia. They were dharmic monarchs who always ruled bearing in mind the welfare and happiness of the people. The hand of the Chalukyan king was not wanting in any department of culture. Architecture reached its highest watermark under the Chalukyas, and the monuments that stand to this day at Aihole, Badami and Pattadakal speak volumes for the glory and grandeur of the Chalukyas. Origin of the Chalukyas. The origin of the Chalukyas of Badami, a dynasty of rulers who ruled over Karnataka for well nigh over 200 years, except for an interval of about 15 years, and enriched Karnataka culture in more ways than one, has been the subject of great controversy among scholars, both Oriental and Occidental. Many theories, such as the hero of the family was created by Brahmadeva, or treating him as belonging to Gurjara of Scythian group or originating from Ayodhya or Andhra country, have been put forward to determine their origin. It is, therefore, necessary to examine the problem afresh to arrive at a satisfactory conclusion. The theory of the legendary origin of the Chalukyas is put forward by Vijayapati Bilhana, court poet of Tribhuvanamala Vikramaditya, in his work Vikramankadevacharita. He says, on one occasion when Brahmadeva was engaged in his morning Sandhya devotions, God Indra came up to him and complained of the ever-increasing sinfulness of the world in which no man performed the Brahmanical sacrifices and rites or offered oblations to gods. He prayed God Brahma to create a hero powerful enough to destroy the wicked people and put an end to sorry state of affairs. The appeals of Indra moved Brahmadeva to action, who, thereupon, looked at his Chalukya, i.e., the hollow of his palm where he held water in the course of devotional exercise for purposes of pouring out libation, and from it sprang a mighty warrior capable of protecting the three worlds. He became the eponymous ancestor of the line. In this line were born two great heroes, Harita and Manavya, who after punishing the erring rulers of the world raised the family of the Chalukyas to a distinct position. Bilhana further informs us that their original home was Ayodhya, and in course of time they migrated to Dakshinapatha and established their power. This story finds its echo in the Ramastapundi grant of Vimaladitya of the Eastern Chalukya dynasty. This record is comprehensive and gives the most elaborate and full account of the Chalukyas. The first part of the preamble of the record gives their legendary origin and a mythical genealogy. The historians of the Chalukyas have dismissed the story of Vijayapati Bilhana as unworthy of any credence. They argue that Chalukya is not a Sanskrit word, though Bilhana transforms into Chalukya and derives it from Chalukya. As Hoernle aptly remarks, despite the attempted Sanskrit derivation of the genealogists, I would suggest the name, Chalukya, is not a Sanskrit word at all. 25 From the beginning of the 11th century AD onwards, attempts were made by rulers of many South Indian dynasties to give themselves respectable pedigrees with the assistance of their court poets, generally claiming descent from the sun and the moon. 26 The same claim was also made by the Vengi and Kalyana branches of the Chalukyas, and this explains the above story. Hoernle derives the word Chalukya from a Turkey root chap meaning gallop and chapul meaning a plundering raid, a charge of cavalry. 27 V.A. Smith, citing the Bombay Gazetteer, Volume I, Part 1, 1924, writes, the same, Pulakesine, occurs in a Chapper genealogy which is the only instance known to Sir John Fleet of its occurrence.